The young lady was walking to her grandmother's house when she stepped on something. She looked at it, and there were some coins on the ground. How lucky. Or should we say, how bad could that be? I mean, it's good to find free money. But then, when she talked about that to her grandmother, she freaked out. She did not like that at all. Why do you think she reacted that way? Eleonore Zugun, a Romanian girl who lived in a village called Talba. In February 1923, when she was 11 years old, she went to visit her grandmother's house at Buhai, who lived few miles away from her village. On the way, she found some money by the side of the road. When she arrived, she spent it on sweeties and ate them all. Her grandmother, who was 105 years old, who had the reputation of being a witch, warned the young Eleanor that the devil, Darko in Romanian, had left the money to tempt her. And from then on, she would never be free of him, and she was right. The next day, poltergeist activities began. Stones crashed against the house and broke windows. Small objects near to Eleanor jumped up and flew about. Her grandmother was superstitious and she was convinced that Eleanor was possessed by the devil. And that's why she quickly sent her home to Ottawa. But after 3 days, the poltergeist activity started again. A jug full of water rose slowly into the air and floated several feet without any water being spilled. A trunk shook violently up and down. A porch pole flew at the visitor and hit him on the back of the head, causing him a painful wound. The supernatural activities continued until Eleanor found refuge in the monastery of Gorovai. But after 3 weeks there, with the continuous violence of the phenomena, she was locked in a lunatic asylum. Fortunately, newspaper accounts of her strange story reached an Austrian physical researcher, Fritz Grunwald, in Charlottenburg, Germany, who, with the help of Kubi Klein, a journalist from Zunowitz, managed to get her sent back to the monastery where she could be observed. Grunewald took detailed notes of the phenomena which took place between the 9th and the 18th of May 1925. The most common type of phenomenon was object movements, ranging from the slow movement of a large pot on the oven to sometimes violent throwing of things at or close to people. Objects also appeared from nowhere, and there were occasional knocks and matches were mysteriously set alight. The poltergeist also began hurting Eleanor. In July 1925, Grunewald died of a heart attack at the age of 41, and Eleanor was left in the care of her family. Fortunately, later that year, she found another protector, an attractive young woman, the Countess Zu Wasiliku Siriki, who had been connected with physical research for years. When she visited Eleanor at the monastery of Gorovai in September 1925, she found her uncared for, dirty, and very frightened girl. Eleanor was close to her, so the Countess saw for herself the bizarre phenomena, and she wrote a short book about Eleanor's case. It was published under the name Die Spuk von Talba, and by January 1926, she had managed, after complicated negotiations, to bring Eleanor to Vienna to live with her in her flat. There, Eleanor was happy and healthy. The Countess had her training as a hairdresser. Eleanor was emotionally stable at this time and not in the psychological condition, which was usually associated with poltergeist activities. That continued as before. The Countess kept a diary of events and divided the phenomenon produced by the girl into a number of main categories like the movement of objects. But everything has an end, and as in many poltergeist cases, The apparent supernatural activity experienced by Eleonore Zugun soon stopped, and by 1928 she had left Vienna to return to her native Romania, where she later got married and was said to have lived a normal life. I will leave you the links of the resources if you want to read more details about the story. And was our story for today. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me. There are more stories coming. And until next time.